What is up, beautiful people? I'm going to fill you in on the happenstance of my life. Quick check in on where I have been. You probably hear it in my voice, a little nasally. We have been going through a mold exposure protocol because our house has an uninhabitable amount of mold. And what I mean by uninhabitable, we have to literally move out of our house. But here's the cool thing is, and I teach this stuff, having the emotional adaptability and the understanding and wherewithal to take things as they roll, just this is not a knockdown punch by any means. And of course, when you're in it, it can feel like compression and pressure. But these things don't affect me nearly the way they used to, especially big things. For instance, having to move out, we are fully gutting and renovating our house. So I'm looking on the optimistic side of things, recognizing that I'm going to get everything I want out of this. I'm going to have a fully renovated house, and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. In the meantime, we are moving over the course of the weekend, and experiencing some health symptoms. If you've ever gone through mold exposure, man, my heart goes out to you because you know exactly what it feels like. It is the real deal, man. It's like if you start to feel symptoms that you have no idea where they're coming from, I would definitely check out mold in your house or in your environment, whether it be at work or your house. It's so sneaky. You have no idea. You think you're just getting sick, but then that kind of hangs on for weeks and months. And my wife was even going through some anxiety that she just knew was not hers. Even I was going through some anxiety, and I'm very keen on my emotions, and I knew exactly what it was. It was pretty nuts. So if you are experiencing it, again, my heart goes out to you. In today's episode, let's switch gears and go into today's episode. An incredible guest in Nick Lewis. He is a graduate of the Unbreakable Man Experience and the Unbreakable Man program, and he is our guest today. But what he doesn't know is that he actually is being recorded. Even though I told him, I said, we're going to record this. He didn't know where it was going to go. And I wanted to share this with you guys so that you have a true understanding of what the before and after can look like in a man and where he was and where he now is. And it's a beautiful process. He shares his heart on the results he's now able to experience and appreciate, and how he's showing up as a man and as a father. And it is amazing. So if you have interest in signing up for the Unbreakable Man Experience and this program, we have a few spots left for the next event, and there is going to be some changes going forward. The price will go up, so be sure to apply and get in on this next event so that you don't miss out on this opportunity to be the man you want to be, to truly get the results you want in your work, in your relationships, in yourself, and just knowing who you are as a man, and just take all that anxiety and take all that stress and just all that chaos and just put it down. And you'll see who you can possibly be on the other side of this experience. And that's why we've put together this program. It's, as I like to say, it's 7 years of therapy in 3 days. It's really, a culmination of all of the true therapies that I've learned over the years as a therapist, but also it's the understanding, the wisdom that I've gained over the course of 7 years, and all the things that did not work for me and all the things that did. And we were able to pack it into 3 days. So you get a powerful, powerful process in 3 days, and you will leave a completely new man, as I like to call it, an unbreakable man. So be sure to check that out. The link is in the notes here in the description below. And as always, enjoy this week's episode. What is up, beautiful humans? This is Dr. Dave Cahotis. I am on a mission to forge strong, heart-centered, and purpose-driven men. And this podcast is here to help you stop managing your problems and start breaking free of stress, limiting beliefs, and excuses that stop you from executing at your fullest potential, living with passion, and being the man you want to be. So let's go. We'll dive in here. What I'm really excited about these calls is that we get to unpack, obviously, what happened at the Unbreakable Man Experience, and then what your next steps of how you're going to start showing up in life. So this is simultaneously coaching and integration. And so I'm like really pumped. Yeah, man. Let's
Me
dive in.
too. Me too. Me too.
Okay.
Okay.
So talk to me about the top three. If you had to even think about even the top like takeaway from the entire event, what would you say that was for you?
This right here, it just, I
Yeah.
feel completely fucking different. Like
Yeah.
I just don't have, I mean, I really have worries like I did. You know what I mean? I'm just being myself, like who I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, man.
I wake up every morning instead of hopping around trying to do a million things. I just
Yeah.
spend time with my family, walk my dog, eat,
I
make
love that.
make breakfast, just be. So
Yes.
that's definitely one. Number two is just setting those expectations with people,
Yeah.
like personal and professional.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
so much easier. Like I get a text from something which before would have been like 30, 45 minutes figuring out like what to say, how do I do this? Now it's just boom, this is what it is. Like this is mine
Yes.
and this is how I'm gonna deal with it. So that, I mean, that helps a lot. It takes away
Yes.
ton of unnecessary stress that I had before.
Yeah. So is it like a decisiveness, or is it like, what do you,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh,
it's just like looking at it as like, hey, this is like really how I exactly how I look at it is like this is my kingdom, and
yes.
somebody puts something in here, and now it's mine, and then this is my kingdom, so this is how I deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
Like like there's nobody's crossing that boundary. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
this, if they do, then it's very well known. Like this is where it is, this is where the boundary is.
That's
So
incredible.
that saves me a ton of time and just headache and anxiety.
Dude, that's incredible. Yeah. How do you think, if you had to think about like the results, like for you, how does that, what does that bring you now that you have that decisiveness? Obviously, you kind of mentioned it, but kind of walk me through a little bit more.
I mean, now I'm able to, I mean, I guess I'm able to delegate better. And I
Yeah.
mean, I'm able to, it's going to give me more time to do what I want to do and just be way, way, way more organized because I'm only doing what I'm supposed to be doing
Yeah.
and not, not halfway somebody else's problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that. That's incredible, brother.
Yeah.
How
I mean,
how
obviously
else?
I'm still getting all figured out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 totally. And
But
there's
it's
of
just
course that's the point of conversation, right? Like that's how we're gonna
yeah.
unpack this. But all right, so we got a couple. You got any more big takeaways? Like this is kind of free form.
Oh yeah, I mean now sometimes I'm like driving down the road and I just start screaming, which before was being like, of anxiety, and now it's just like pure joy.
Yeah.
And just because I think that maybe the biggest thing is just living, like just being
Yeah.
in now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like everything
Yeah.
is okay. Which before I was always thinking, an hour ahead, but
Yeah.
never like now. Like
Yeah.
before, like 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't be able to sit here and have this conversation and feel happy about it because I would be thinking of nine things I have to do in there. But
Yeah,
now
man.
I just know in my heart that this is okay, you know?
Yes. Yes. That's incredible. It screams of joy. Just like
Yeah.
the intermittent, like instead of screams of anxiety anymore, it's just like the intermittent screams of joy. Like, I love that, man. I'll experience that for myself every once in a while. It's pretty incredible, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
Yeah, last week it was like every day, like every time I got in the car,
Yeah.
I just because it just kind of hits you,
Yeah.
like, oh shit, like there's this shit, I don't know, being released of what you would normally, I think maybe that's why, like normally I'm used to like get in the car, like with the two phones and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have one phone in here right now. I haven't looked at for like 3 days.
Yeah. It's
Probably
incredible. See,
not the
it's
best
like,
thing, but it's the best thing for me.
it's very clear. Yeah, it's very clear. And you discovered that the organization, you don't have to take on everyone else's shit, right? Like you can just like be focused and organized and attended and all that
Right.
stuff. That's incredible, man. That's incredible. So let's just keep going, man. You got anything else that stuck out for you?
Let me think. Let me think. I've been so focused on just being, like,
Yeah,
like
being.
being happy with
Yeah,
just being. And then, I mean, now I have those things like I meditate every day. Like I've
yeah,
done it every single day,
yeah.
and I haven't drank since then,
That's
since the
amazing.
retreat, and
Yeah,
that does wonders for me.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, man. So kind of walk me through just like, obviously like we're gonna kind of go back into where you were and now who you are, and we're going to celebrate that a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through, I had you fill out a form before you came, but I'm just going to ask you where you are right now, right? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like the most exceptional you could possibly think, 1 being very poor. We're just going to go through those 6 accounts, and we're just going to kind of check in on where you're at. So talk to me about where you're at relative to your vitality, your mind, body, emotional well-being. Where do you think you're at on a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay. I don't know, 9.8.
9.8. I love it, man. There's
Yeah.
always room for more.
This is yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's a whole different world. Because
Yeah.
before, that was never on any of my intentions,
Yeah.
and it was never even thought about. I mean, and
Yes.
maybe somewhere crammed in the back of my mind, I knew
Yeah.
that that was should have been important, but now
Yeah.
it's top priority.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can tell, like, especially the meditation, it's insane.
Yes.
Just the first time, like, after my brother came back and he was telling me, he's like, "Hey, try to meditate," and I did, and I I didn't. I locked in for like 2 seconds, but now
Yeah.
I can get it like the whole 15 minutes almost.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
incredible.
it's just
That's incredible. Yeah, one of the things that you
mm,
mentioned on your intake form, you were talking about silencing the voice that constantly talking about things, like in your head, and you wanted to kind of just live in that present moment. You already said it, but you're there, which is amazing. Which is
yeah,
amazing.
I don't hear that voice anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. One of the other things that you mentioned was you wanted to release that nervous energy and that sense of anxiety. You feel like you've achieved that?
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
up to
I love it.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Just
lo
because doing all of those little things, like when I meditate, I set the intention for the day. So
Yeah,
that's what my main focus is for the day.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so it's not all those other little things.
yeah.
So that stuff helps a ton.
I love that. I love that. All right, talk to me about your overall sense of your connection to yourself, right? You were, I don't tell you where you were, but give me a scale of 1 to 10 on that, where you're at, like, with your personal sense of play, joy, your own connection to yourself.
I'm probably at an 8.
I like it. I like it. What,
And I just say because oh, sorry.
oh, I was gonna say, what would be a 9 or a 10?
Once I have like a plan for my purpose, like an actual plan so that I'm every day I'm working towards that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love
It's
that.
it's kind of a weird time. I just like, honestly, this house this came at a horrible time. But once I'm like Friday, that's the deadline for this. So Friday, then
Yeah.
I'm really gonna start focusing on my side. But I just have to get this out of the way first,
Yeah, absolutely.
and then
Absolutely. Yeah, and
so
that's it,
I'm
man.
very
Like,
excited about that.
when you come back from these experiences, there's always, of course, there's more to unpack, but it's like an excitement. I can feel that. I can feel that for you. There's an excitement of, like, getting into your sense of purpose and dialing that in. One of the things that you wrote down in the statements, I had you kind of check in with your mindset, review, is like, you said, why does this happen all the time? Do you feel like you're able to kind of take that thought pattern and put it down?
Why? Sorry. Why does what happen all
So
the
I
time?
said, what words or statements run through your head or your mind, when you think about not being where you want to be? What do you tell yourself? That was the question I asked. And so then your answer was, why does this happen all the time? That was your answer. Do you think that you were able to let that go?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Okay, perfect. So you went from, actually, I'll go back from on vitality, went from a 4 to a 9.8, which is great. I love it.
Oh,
There's
okay,
always
okay.
there's
I
always room
just
for more.
wow.
That's always good.
Okay.
On your sense of play and sense of self, you went from a 7 to an 8, which is great. And you identified the next steps, which is planning for your purpose. And we'll talk about that. That's always the next step. There's always work to do, and there's, it'll come. It'll come. So, all right, talk to me about, on a scale of 1 to 10, your intimate relationship with your wife. Where are you at right now?
I mean, that's been a complete. I mean, we had a great relationship before, but now it's just it's perfect.
I love
I
it,
mean,
dude.
just I mean, she told me I gave her a hug like I've never given her a hug before, and I felt it too. I
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
just because there's always I'm trying to get somewhere else, either
Yes. Yeah.
mentally or physically, but yeah, there's definitely a deeper connection.
That's incredible, man. I think that's something to celebrate. And, maybe even the 10 at the time when you originally kind of filled out that survey, that maybe it's a whole nother level that you didn't even know.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, because yeah, it's something that I didn't even know.
Yeah,
Because I,
exactly.
you know, I always we were both happy, so I just thought, "Oh, we're happy." But now, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting, like, more and more into that, you know?
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah. It's so powerful, man. I love that. That's one of my favorite changes that I always see guys, especially married men, when they come through. It's the depth that, like on paper, you could say, oh, well, my wife is hot and like I'm having this amount of sex and this, and like we have
Yeah.
a good relationship. Maybe it's like between a 7 or 8 out of 10. But then that's like that scale of relativity. And then you get to this 10 and like the scale completely changes and you have like a whole nother layer of depth and groundedness and centeredness. What has your wife said since, obviously you said, you give her a hug, but what has she said?
Oh, I mean, she told me that she just feels like I'm a different person,
I love it.
you know, just because I'm there and I'm present and I started to make those changes, like spending a whole day with my daughter, you know, I did it last Friday and it was awesome,
That's
you know,
amazing.
but that's something I've said I'm gonna do. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I've said that like every week for like 2 or 3 months, but I've
Yeah.
never done it.
Yeah. Yeah. Where were you at before? Were you doing that with your daughter at all?
No, that's what I just kind of said I was gonna do that, but then, you know,
Yeah.
something always came up.
Yeah. Always. It's always like something, quote unquote.
Yeah,
There's like
yeah, it's
chasing.
always something. Yeah,
Something always came
it's
up, man. What
something that didn't matter.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So man, that's amazing. What do you think that's gonna do for your daughter, growing up?
I mean, I mean, I don't know. You know, I never had any of that growing up, but
Yeah.
I mean, she's gonna be confident in herself, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? She's gonna be able to be happy and, you know,
That's
like
so
this morning we
powerful.
just yeah, even my wife said it. She was like, "This is so good for her." Like, you know, we were all cuddled in the bed in the morning, you know,
That's
and the
amazing.
baby's just jumping around doing monkeys on the bed. And so I don't really know how to put that into words, but I know it's something I've always wanted to be a parent like that, you know, to provide
Yeah.
that. And I think I
Yeah.
actually said that to myself this morning, like, this is always what I've always wanted, just to be able to provide that, like to see my
Yes.
daughter happy and around love and having everything she needed.
That's incredible, brother.
Yeah.
Man, that's really
So that's
special
I mean,
because
that's a good, yeah, that's a good like milestone for my life, you know, because
yeah.
even at like 12 years old, I remember thinking like, when I have a kid, I want him to be this, like exactly what she has right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's incredible. That's really special because, for me, it's as a facilitator of this process, it's such a joy for me to celebrate that with you because it's not even about you and I, right? It's about our kids,
Right.
right? And it's
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
generation. And like that's why we're doing this, why we're doing this work. It's like
Yeah.
we're raising healthy humans because we as men and fathers, we are healthy and we can show up for our wives and for our partners, for our children. I know same thing with, my kiddos. It's like I can spend that quality time and be present, man. It's so amazing. I got to go.
It's a big change.
It's
I mean,
huge.
being present, like, because before, did it really matter if I spent all Friday with her?
Yeah.
No, because I would be, you know, looking at the phones and, you
Yeah.
know, be somewhere else, and it would just be like
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
But now it's time with my
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can't put a price tag on that. You can't put, you know,
Yeah.
that's like people say it all the time, "Oh, you don't get this time back." So that's therefore
Yeah.
you better be there for it.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. That's gonna be really special. I'm really excited for, your relationship with obviously your wife and your daughter and any future babies that are coming into the world.
Yeah, yeah.
This is amazing. Okay, so for that one, it sounded like you were at an 8 prior to, but now it sounds like the scale is just like a completely different it's like we're on
Yeah,
a,
it's a
a
different
brand new
yeah.
scale.
It's
I
a new
love it.
level, yeah.
I love it,
Yeah.
man. I love it. All right. So give me a 1 to 10 on social health, social well being, your relationships to your friends and colleagues, maybe extended family, you know, maybe your mother in law, all of these, all these people.
That one's a 10 for sure.
I love
That
it,
one's a 10
man.
for sure.
Yeah. 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 I love
Um,
that. You shared
yeah.
that such an incredible story about your mother in law. It's like it's like a depth of acceptance and love and compassion, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it. That's incredible. So, any big insights with that one? And now that you're at a 10 and all that stuff, where do what is like the main takeaway for you there?
So I've noticed that I'm just naturally after the experience, I'm not judging people. Like with her, I was
Mm,
like always judging her
yeah,
and other people, but now it just, you know, that I don't know, I'm just myself and I don't judge people.
yeah.
Like, and
Ah,
it's something I didn't have to focus on. I just, I was like, wait a minute, I didn't, I just noticed like I'm not really judging. And I
yes.
think once that happened, I don't know, maybe she noticed that, and so she's been a little more helpful and, you know, it's just naturally happened, like, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe she noticed inside that I wasn't judging her, and then she's, she's more helpful to me.
It's
So,
powerful,
it's
when you take care of you, right? And you go into the depth of you as you discovered, and then the entire world responds around you. Like you probably didn't even need to bring anything up or say anything, but she probably just felt your energy and it's
oh,
magnetic.
yeah,
And it's like
yeah,
she
yeah.
wants to be there and help. And whether it's do the dishes, whether it's, help with dinner, instead of asking you to like get her something, she'll get up and do it or just be a part of it, you know?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, that's
amazing.
funny that so last night, well, the night before last, I ate a bad brisket, or I don't know, my stomach is just sensitive to smoked meat sometimes,
Yeah.
but so I spent all of the night before last throwing up all night long,
Yeah.
and then so today, or like last night, I was like laying on our couch because we took the baby trick or treating, and
Yep.
then she was getting me all these massage things, these heat pads, getting me tea, getting me all this stuff. It's before, I don't think that would have happened. So that's just like a perfect
That's
example.
amazing. Has she made any mention of the change in you?
Oh, yeah, 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 she
It's
did.
amazing.
Because I told him all about the experience and stuff.
I love it.
Like, open heart, I didn't hold anything back.
Yes, that's beautiful. That's incredible. That's amazing. Yeah, you were at an 8,
Yeah.
prior to the event. Now you're at a 10, and maybe even the same thing. The scale has
Oh, yeah,
completely
yeah.
opened up. It's like a
Yeah,
brand new.
I think most of these, it's gonna be like a new level.
Yeah, it's like a brand new scale. It's
Yeah,
like a brand new scale.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right, so let's talk about your sense of financial well-being and just the overall sense of it. Again, scale of 1 to 10, where do you think you're at right now?
I probably an 8,
Okay.
but again, that kinda comes with, getting getting this thing finished,
Yeah.
and then so I can get there.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah, and there's
so I
always
have
there's
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's always room for growth. There's always opportunity. What would be a 9 or a 10 on that scale?
That would be, like, having things already in place,
Yeah,
already having.
organization.
Yeah, yeah. At least there I know exactly what I need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I
But
think that's
it's
important.
really weird. I have this number in my head, and normally I don't remember things like this, but it's just $55,432.57. It just came to me, like, every day. So,
Yeah,
November 15th. So, I don't know, I just keep saying that, which I don't know exactly what that means, but, that's gonna be in my bank account,
might be a
November
commission
15th.
check. We'll see, man.
It is. I got 2 solar installs going on right now, actually.
That's
So
incredible. Yeah, man, there's always room. There's always room for more. That's the beauty about especially with financial well-being, and you already discovered it and I mean, maybe I'll just hand it off to you. Where were you at relative to how you were going about life? So many men are going out there and trying to, gain access to, what they're looking for from a financial perspective, but now you've flip-flopped that. So do you feel like you've been able to do that now? Like you work on yourself first and then you work on your
Oh,
finances?
yeah, yeah, that's something I understand that 1,000%. Like,
Yeah.
it all starts right here,
Yeah.
and nothing, nothing,
Yeah.
even if you don't, and you can get everything financially you want, you're still not happy, and it's not right because it's not you.
Yes.
You have to
Yes.
do it through you, and that's the
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And then the dollar amount literally doesn't matter.
right.
That's the key. I know, and like it's the lesson that I want to teach over and over and over again. It's so many of us are just like chasing after this idea of like fulfillment and success, and that when we get to this end of the rainbow, that there's just going to be this pot of gold, and our daughter and our mother and our our wife, they're going to love us, all of a
Yeah,
sudden, and it's like
yeah,
even though we're miserable inside, it doesn't work that way. And really doing the work, inner work first, the depth work, obviously that's the gold, man. Like,
yeah, that's number 1, that's where
yeah, it's like you have the pot of gold. All right. So talk to me about your sense of service or purpose, depth, meaning, and purpose in life. You know, a scale of 1 to 10. Where do you think you're at right now?
Oh, I'm probably I don't know, probably at an 8 maybe.
Okay. Awesome. What's a 10 out of that one?
It just kinda comes back to, getting everything organized and, knowing exactly that purpose and, taking the steps to get there.
Yeah. Do you think you
And
have that
then
sense though
oh
after the event? Like, do you know
yeah,
what that? Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So I think
yeah,
I
I
think
do.
yeah, I
I
think
just
that's
have some other things.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, I
And
just have this project to get out of the way.
yeah, totally. And that's always the thing. It's like, after the event, you guys are walking away, like, exactly who you are, exactly, why you're here, what your mission is, and what that really looks like in bringing into the world. And that's the beauty, man. It's like a blank canvas. Sometimes it can be very overwhelming. It's like, oh, I get to do this now. You can create your art, aka like what that soul essence is for you, and put that onto the world like a thumbprint, and then bringing that into reality. It just takes time, just like anything
Yeah.
else, man. It's like a painting. You get to create that. So, if you had to think about what your sense of purpose, or this, I guess we kind of differentiated between soul mission and purpose, but what do you think that is for you if you had to put it into words?
Well, I know we just so being on the beach or well, I guess that's not really my purpose, but my purpose is, you know what? Now I think about it, maybe it's not that clear.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, definitely, giving back and then being able to, even take what I've learned from the retreat and show
Yeah,
somebody else and
absolutely.
show them the full circle. I mean, I do know that my purpose is I want to be on the beach and I want to surf and I want to show that life to my daughter and my
Absolutely.
wife and
Yeah,
have that relaxing lifestyle, but then
absolutely.
also, create a way that I can be influential in the solar industry and show people how to get that life that I've created.
Absolutely. So you do know it.
So I guess I do have my
Yeah, you
purpose.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and you know what that really comes down to? It's like you are free to be. And it comes down to a depth of freedom and that depth of love and showing others who you are and just being you. I mean, that's ultimately you. Like, that is your purpose. And so you have an idea of what that looks like from a objective perspective of like, oh, well, like I want to live on the beach. I want to like enjoy my life. I want to like live this lifestyle and create the financial freedom and well-being for myself and my family so that we can have the time to go surf in the morning and help others along the path into the world of solar. That's a powerful, powerful sense of purpose. And so instead of it being so, focused on you of like, I gotta go get the next job so that I can get, now you can turn and look out on the horizon and see how many other people can you support just by you being you. That's the beauty, man. That's the beauty. So you do have that sense of purpose. It's, of course, then
Yeah.
it's like comes down to like, okay, well, what does that look like? And how does that play out? And what do I need to do? And all the, the disciplined actions. And we'll talk about that and how that's going to, come into fruition. But yeah, that's powerful, man. So give me a scale, or sorry, before that, you were at a 4, now you're at an 8. So in order to get you to a 10, then it's just creating an organization, like creating a plan. That's it, man. That's like,
Right, right,
now you know
and
what to
start
do.
taking those yeah,
Exactly. Now you know what to do. So that's the beauty, man. That's the beauty. So
which
for
that's Monday, by the way. That's Monday. That's
yeah,
happening Monday.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, that's key, man. That's key. So you already know what to do. You already have an idea and know what that looks like. So, give me a scale 1 to 10, just on an overall mindset, at where you were at. Where are you at now?
I'm in 10 for sure.
Yeah, totally. I feel like that one shifted a whole nother block too. Like the
Yeah,
10 was relative. You're like, I'm pretty good, but I'm gonna go into the closet and I might sneak a drink here and there, and I'm not gonna like be present with my family.
yeah,
And yeah, man, I love that
yeah,
because
that's another level.
yeah. Do you think you're clear now? Like, because one of the things that you wanted to be was clear, like just clear, mentally clear, 100%. You said 100% of the time. Do you feel like you're there?
I do, yeah, and
That's
honestly, I
amazing.
couldn't imagine being in the state of mind
That's
that I am
amazing.
right now, you know what I mean? Because I just like, I kinda went over, but I just like, this morning when I get up, I just relax, walk my dog. Before, I would walk my dog with my cell phone, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
run through 1,000 things that really don't matter, and,
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. I
But
love
now
that.
I just do it. I'm always telling myself throughout the day, like, "It's okay, just do this," you know?
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
be in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I love that. Okay. So yeah, you were at an 8 before. Now you're at a 10 on that one. So give me in your own mind's eye, right? Your own, like from where you were to who you are now. What was the biggest change? If you had to think about the biggest changes, what you were even struggling with, now that you're able to celebrate these wins, you're at 8s and 9s out of 10 down the board, new scales of love and intimacy and depth and
Yeah.
connection, just powerful, kind of walk me through the biggest changes that you've seen in yourself.
And, like, what caused these changes, or you're
Yeah,
saying
like
just
the physical changes, like, what you were struggling with. Again, this is a celebration. So, what were you struggling with and what can you now enjoy?
okay, okay. So, a really big thing was so the top 3 things, I guess, were the alcohol,
Yeah.
um, just the nervous energy, anxiety. That's the 2nd biggest one, and the 3rd
Yeah.
one would just be I'll just do 4 then, I guess, like, decisions, making decisions,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then my connection with my wife and my daughter.
Mm,
And
that's
so, one,
amazing.
the alcohol, I don't have the urge, and the same thing with overeating. I don't
Mm,
have that urge because I'm not doing it to and I understand, like, I'm not doing it to shove something down,
yeah. Yeah.
I'm not covering something else with that, so I don't have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, that's huge,
Yeah.
because those are 2 of the things that made me feel horrible every single day,
Yes.
drinking and overconsumption of food.
Yeah. It's amazing how we don't think about it because food is like also necessary for living, but that
Yeah,
like food becomes its own, way to avoid, our own way to
right.
numb or run from our issues within. Man, there's so many good ones in there. I think the decisiveness, I really want to unpack that one because I think what that does, and that I think I know, when you're decisive, when you know what, oh, like this is right for me, I'm gonna go in this direction. It's like there's no hesitation. You can actually get results. You can get the
Right,
job done, quote unquote, and get
yeah.
whatever that result is, whether it's more depth, more sex, more money, more health and
Yeah,
vitality and more muscle. It literally
right.
doesn't matter. You can fill in the blank.
It's
I
just
think,
like picking up that you said at the retreat, try to pick up the bottle or pick up the bottle,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
This is that's what it is right there.
It's exactly. There's no more try. You take the word try out of your vocabulary, and then it becomes a real thing, man. So, man, these have all been really good. All right, so now that we walk through, what you like, obviously like the big change, right? Big changes, big like opportunity, like whoo, like you are a new man. This is powerful. You
Yeah,
are an
yeah,
unbreakable
yeah.
man, right? Like
No,
that's it.
yeah, I really am, I really am.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So now we get to choose, right? So now we get to choose. And so now this is like, of course, this can be sticky sometimes, but this is why having, a guide, a coach, to walk you through the next steps, that why this is important. So let's dive into, what it looks like for you going forward. So if you had to think about, big changes, not even big changes, I want to say that, but objective outcomes that you want to see in your life, and we'll go back to, we'll even just start with the 6 accounts because I love just like having that, that easiness.
Mhm.
If you had to think about your health and vitality, right? If you had an objective that you wanted to achieve in the next 6 months, what would that be? What would that look like? And that could be anything from, again, objective, right? It could be add on more muscle. It could be lose fat. It could be run a marathon. It could be hike the Appalachian Trail. It could be whatever. It could
Right.
be anything you want to do. So if you had to think about an objective you want to achieve in your health and
Uh,
vitality,
I want, my overall weight is 185 is my goal,
yeah, I like that, man. I like that. Do you have an idea
and
of
then
I would say body fat percentage on that?
maybe, I don't know, 15.
15. I like
I'm
it.
probably pretty high up there right now.
It's all good.
But
It's
I
like
mean, I can already tell just from,
yeah,
obviously the no booze, that right there, that's just boom,
you're
weights are already falling off.
your body is going to morph in an incredible way. There was a guy that came through our last event and he sent me a before and after picture of even before the event
And then he sent me the after picture, and he's a power lifter. And he's like, power lifters, like, they carry a lot of mass, and
Mhm.
he still has the same amount of strength, but he's so shredded now. And it's like, and he's a big dude. He was like, kind of like a offensive lineman style guy. And
Yeah.
dude's shredded now. I'm like, yeah, like that's what happens when you release emotional just shit and just emotional traumas and just all that energy you're holding on to. The physical weight just goes away. And then you have a higher capacity to serve. You have a higher capacity to be present. You have more energy. You want to have more energy for your kids and for your wife and all those things. And
Yeah.
so,
Full
with
circle.
that,
The full
yeah, it's
circle.
absolutely full circle because there's reason, right? There's purpose.
Yeah.
Purpose is so underrated, and that's one of the reasons that I even do what I do. It's like, I think as soon as you have a purpose, now it's like you are responsible for that purpose. So it's scary for guys to identify a purpose, because if they know that, then it's like, oh shit, now I got to go after that. That's why I think a lot of men don't know what they want. You guys all, I mentioned that the first day. It's like, how do you know? Like, what do you want? And then a lot of people are telling me what they didn't want,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
which is a little secret sauce, but that's so true, man. It's so true. So, all right, talk to me about intimate relationship. If you had to think of an objective, maybe a trip, maybe weekly date night, what does that look like if you had to think about an objective?
This before the end of the year, a trip with my wife, just me and
Yeah.
her.
Where are you guys gonna go?
San Diego.
Nice. You can do some surfing.
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
yeah. So it'll
dude.
also double as a surf trip.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course it will. It'll also maybe triple as a recon trip to see if you're gonna move back to San Diego.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
it. I love it. Okay. Tell me about social health, well-being. Think about an objective. Now, again, this is totally yours. It could be you want to throw like the most baller party with all your friends and all that stuff, or it could just be like, just be present, with your friends and family. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, I guess just, with the holidays coming up, so I'm taking a trip in, actually this month now to Pinehurst, golf trip with some of my buddies.
Yeah.
So that just be present at that and just fucking enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, man. That's gonna be incredible. Get to
Yeah,
play some golf at a high level place and
yeah,
maybe break
yeah, it's a
90 depending on how you're good at how good
yeah. I'm breaking 90 for sure.
Oh, that's good. I try to razz you a little bit. I know you play golf for sure too. So yeah, man, that's gonna be incredible. So now it's like, okay, I'm gonna go on this trip and you can be present with your guys. You might not need to drink as much as they are. You might have a blast and go out there and you'll notice that. And the guys will be like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, why aren't you drinking?" And you're like, "I feel great." Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be weird. That's the thing when you stop drinking and you're in an environment where drinking is a norm. What happens is like people like look at you like you have a problem, but you're happy and you're gonna be like, I feel great, man. I feel really healthy and I feel satisfied in life, which is amazing. So I love that. That's incredible. All right. So tell me about your sense of your connection to yourself. If you had to think about, you as a human and how you show up in the world, what does that look like for you? If you had to think of an
Mhm.
objective, it could be play golf. I think you mentioned it before, but play golf a couple times a week. But what does that look like?
Man, I kinda wanna have another I just have a feeling I wanna have another breakthrough of some kind.
Yeah, man.
I don't know exactly what that looks like, but,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's a breakthrough with golf or,
Yeah,
maybe
dude.
it's,
Maybe a breakthrough
but,
in I love that sense of service, all that stuff. Could be financial breakthrough, could be a lot of different options, a lot of different options. Okay, talk to me about your financial objective. 6 months, 6 months.
so 6 months is to have something already in place, already have that $55,000 in the bank, and then
Okay.
have a something that's already in place that's creating some type of residual.
So I'm writing 55K in cash and infrastructure. And then how much does your infrastructure generate for you?
10 grand a month.
10K a month. Is that net?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I think that's really important to tell yourself because you could say 10K a month, but then that could be like, well, that could be revenue. Then you have
Right.
expenses, you have cost of goods sold, you have all these other things. So now you have a very clear objective of like, oh, well, I need to make this many sales calls and this and this and this. And so you kind of know how to create that. And we'll talk about getting you there. And then give me an idea of your sense of service or purpose. What would be the objective to get you to where you want to be?
So I'll be involved with something that's, maybe it's to say if it's either 4 or 5 other guys that I see struggling with the same things that I
Yeah.
struggled with, and just getting them into this kind of understanding and this kind of lifestyle of being present and being, like, really actually happy.
Yes. Yes. I love that. That's how this thing spreads. I love that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good, man.
crazy how much it spreads.
Yeah, it's fast because you see it and then you're like, and that's what happened. That's what got you in. Obviously, like you saw your brother didn't have to say a word. You just saw it in his eyes after he went through the experience, and then you're like, dude, what? Like, what
Yeah.
did you just do or take or what? And then how do I get a part of that? That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's how this stuff spreads, man. Like, and that's where it's gonna go. So that's it, brother. I mean, so here's the beauty. Now, this is what I want you to think, and let's do a quick meditation. Actually, I'm gonna do a meditation with you, and then
Yeah.
this will be like an integration meditation, similar to what we did at the end of the event. But this time, I want you to really think about these objectives, and you're gonna be in a location wherever you want to be. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be on the beach, but you can. I don't want to prime you, but you could be wherever you want to be, and I just want you to think about that. All right, so let's kind of tune in really quick, and we'll just take a big breath for me. So close your eyes. We'll just do a meditation. We'll just think about this. This is gonna, again, integration meditation. Good. Big breath in. Full exhale all the way out. Good. One more big breath in. Full exhale. Good. What I want you to do is imagine the objectives you just told me. And you can see yourself, your future self, but on a movie screen. And on that movie screen, you see yourself talking with someone. You're having a conversation. And that person, he weighs 185 pounds. He's got 15% body fat. Body feels vital, strong. Maybe he's on a trip in San Diego after he's gone on other trips with his friends, play golf all over the country. He's gone to Pinehurst. He's gone to other places that he loves playing golf. He's seen himself already break through in other ways, other capacities. He's got 55,000 in the bank in cash. He's got an infrastructure set up to generate 10K in revenue, monthly, recurring. It's always coming in. You can feel ease with that. You can feel relaxed. And he's helping other people on the path, supporting them. He's helping other men find what they're looking for. I want you to see that person, that future version of yourself, and see it on the screen and see that person having a conversation and the excitement. I want you to bring that screen closer to you and just notice the energy in that. As you bring the screen closer to you, you might notice a buzz, an exciting sensation. And you see yourself, that future version of self, as that. What I want you to do now is step into the movie screen and be in the scene. And you're there as an observer. You're simply observing the excitement that your future self is feeling, is having, and just noticing the excitement that the other person is having. And you're telling them the stories about the breakthroughs and the travels all over the country, playing golf with friends, going surfing in San Diego, talking about the connection you've developed with your wife, the moments, the presence that you've had with your children. What I want you to do now is step into the body of your future self and be the observer within. And just notice the sensations you feel. Notice the joy. Notice the excitement. Notice the confidence, the clarity, the love, the decisiveness. Just notice these things about yourself. And what we know is quantum physics is that there is no such thing as future or past. It is all happening right now. And so all of those things are currently happening in this now moment. And you're experiencing those things. Those things are already true for you. And what I want you to notice is the sensation in your body, the feeling all over. What I want you to think about in that sensation and distill all of that sensation down into one word. One word that will create a summary of all the sensation of confidence and joy and love and gratitude and abundance. Just notice that one word. And allow yourself to use that word to always come back. Come back to that sense of confidence, that sense of abundance, that sense of peace, that sense of ease, knowing that you can be whoever you want to be. And now what you're going to do is you're going to step back out of that body and out of the movie screen and back into this here and now reality. Knowing the sensation, knowing the feelings, the vibrations, carrying with you the word and all the vibration that you just gained access to. I want you to take the movie screen. I want you to make it a little ball, turn it into a ball, and imagine it like a crystal ball, like sitting in your hand. Now all I want you to do is just say, I let this go. And when you let this go, I want you to imagine that that movie screen goes out into the universe and it just dissipates into the blackness of space and it's gone. And you fully let it go. There's nothing in that reality that you don't already have because you have it right now in this now moment. And I want you to tell yourself that one word and feel the sensations in your body, knowing that that reality exists here and now. And anytime you lose track or lose sight, I want you to feel that. Feel that sensation. Feel that reality. And in doing that, you'll always remember. And then it will become a reality. And when you're ready, you can bring the awareness back into your body and feel your new self. Feel that sensation. Feeling your legs and your feet, your hips and low back and mid back, through your chest, stomach, shoulders, arms, to your head, neck. Just let the awareness come back in. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Feels good.
What'd you notice?
I mean, I noticed that it is already here.
Yeah.
I'm already that man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah.
That's beautiful.
So everything I want is here.
Yeah.
I have it.
Everything you want is here. Everything you want is here. There's nothing to chase. There's nowhere to be. You can just be yourself. You can just allow yourself to be here. It's beautiful.
And I don't have to make it so hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it just is. It just is.
Yes, sir. That's beauty. That is beautiful.
Cool.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Unbreakable Man podcast. If you found this episode valuable, then go ahead and leave a 5-star review explaining how this podcast has helped you so more people can find it. If you want to be a part of the Brotherhood, then click the link in the description below. You can also check out the Unbreakable Man Experience if you're ready to face a deeper challenge and change your life for the better in just 3 days. All right, guys. Thanks again for listening. I appreciate you. And as always, stay unbreakable.